Hey everybody, Ramdean and Black with you. The UFC goes back to network television and they present a tremendous fight at 185 pounds. All the action going down April 15th. Jacare taking on Robert Whittaker. And to me, this is a surprising matchup because when you think of Jacare, you think at the top of the food chain. Yep. This is a guy that could be, in most people's opinion, he should be fighting for the UFC 185-pound championship. Now, of course, Yoel Romero might have something to say about that.
George St. Pierre,
of course. Money. Exactly. So, but Jacare doesn't care. Take this fight with Robert Whittaker, and eventually I'll prove. Yeah. Is it too much for Whittaker at this stage? We saw how good he looked against Derek Brunson, but what is the level? Because when we think of UFC middleweights, here's the rankings. So number 10, number 9, number 8. Yeah. This guy's just one step difference when it comes to the rankings. But the reality is there can be a huge gap in skill between number 3 and number 4. When it comes to Jacare and Robert Whittaker, how did their skills compare?
Would you be shocked if you saw Robert Whittaker have the kind of fight that Kelvin Gastelum had against
Cody Garbrandt?
Or Cody Garbrandt? Would you be?
No, I guess I wouldn't be. But against Jacare, for some reason, I would. Like to see... Nothing surprises me about mixed martial arts. So to see a guy like Robert Whittaker, again, take this fight against Jacare, it speaks volumes.
Yeah.
So again, you sign the bout agreement. It's like, I want to be the world champion. I have to get through Jacare. I have to get through Luke Rockhold. I have to get through Chris Weidman. I have to do these things. I understand that. But at this stage where Jacare seems to be more evolved, it feels like Robert Whittaker has time, but I guess if you knock out Jacare, you're at the top of the food chain.
Exactly. And this is a great chance for him. I honestly, some of these guys who are like sort of nosing into that top level, some of them are having these massive breakthroughs in just their ability to play the game. And they're no longer just executing plays or running plays or executing moves. They're manipulating and they're growing a great deal. I couldn't see Cody performing that well.
No, I didn't either.
Against
Dom.
Against Dom. I mean, and you could say, oh yeah, I think he can do it. But based on what you had seen, you couldn't make that jump. And then we saw it, and it was undeniable. It was undeniable.
Sure, I think...
And Kelvin.
Yeah.
You know, at 185 pounds against that Army dude.
I think one of the reasons why, because I've had a chance to talk to so many different fans and viewers of combat, the one thing where I've heard a lot of people say, I picked Cody over Dom because they just don't understand what Dom's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
So when you see Dom, it's like, Dominic Cruz really never impressed me. I'm like, never impressed you that he's in there against the best in the world and he's very rarely getting hit?
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I know this is a sidebar, but you do. It's funny that he blew out his feet. He blew out his feet and damaged his body, working so hard to not take damage another way.
Yeah.
But the work to build your body to not take that damage
still wrecked another part. Isn't that wild?
So
incredible.
Think about that. Because we have limitations as human beings. Jacare, you've never seen a lot of limits out of him. Same thing. Would you be shocked if Jacare just calmly executed this man?
No.
On the feet? You know?
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Not at all. And so we're at that stage now. We're at that stage where if you are having a conversation with your friends and you're talking about shit, like, are you kidding me? Jacare? How Whittaker's lost to this guy and this guy, but Jacare beat it's all just changing so fast. We're getting to the point where we need to almost see the fight. And maybe we have to also start spending some more time digging in the next day. Because we need to sift through this new information that is changing week to week to week. If we're looking at the people's last fights from when did Jacare fight last?
Oh, he
executed Vitor, and we didn't get to see a lot. Yeah. So he was more than that. We didn't even see, so we don't even get to know. And
he's been built again. And that's one of the things. Again, I've asked coaches and fighters if they have stuff tucked in their back pocket, because why show your whole hand like a guy like Jose Aldo? Yeah. Why show everything when you only need to show this, so people can't try to figure out, okay, let's work on this. Let's work on this. If we get into these scenarios with him, instead, we'll do this. We'll beat everybody this way. If somebody gives us problems, we'll just be this.
Yeah, and that's what Jose did against Frankie, and it blew my mind. It was awesome, you know. Because you can beat everybody with a right low kick and a left hook and hurting you off, you attacking the single leg on him. So, do that forever. George St. Pierre, double legs in the guard, smashing you up. Like, why do anything else? We don't know what he is. And that's why these fights are just getting so tantalizing. You know what I mean? Jacare and Whittaker is a cool fight because Whittaker, I was going to say Forrest Whittaker. I'd like to see Jacare fight Forrest Whittaker. I'd put a couple
Ghost
dollars.
Dog. See Forrest Whittaker, Ghost Dog. Yeah. Excellent movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah. But Whittaker is going to be a lot more than we think. But wherever he was, in whatever we've seen, I mean, you go back to him fighting Stephen Thompson, he looked really good dealing with Stephen Thompson out there. So he absolutely is in play to be hurting Jacare out in the space. If and when that happens, Jacare will want to close the distance. He's got to have a game for that. He's got to have a way that when Jacare goes into
Isn't he an expert in that area?
Yeah, he's very good at drawing you and hurting you in the space. Don't count Whittaker out of this fight. Don't you dare count Forrest Whittaker out of this fight.
A tremendous battle going down at 185 pounds. All the action happening on network TV on April 15th.